Yeah.
I love that because I've never tried to label what I felt. I don't think, I think I can call what I feel for others heartbreak because to your point, I've moved past it, but I can see so many people are still caught in it and they're really upset when they get passed over or when they get laid off or when, you know, that thing happens where they get slapped on the hand or whatever it is. They truly take it personally. And my heart breaks for them that happens, that they have that kind of, that they're that porous to this most of the times toxic, one-sided environment.
Yeah.
But for me, it was more like annoyance. It was more anger. And my tolerance for it over time just like lessened and lessened. And like that was my trigger to cash out, was just like it was another reorg. There's nothing particularly bad happening to me. There was nothing I was being asked to do that was outside of my integrity, but the reorg added, you know, 6 additional stakeholders and 4 different meetings. And it was just like, okay, come on. Like, this is not a game that I can win, nor does it seem fair that all of my experience gets diminished simply because the company moves some boxes around on a spreadsheet.
Yeah. And I think the fact that once you realize it's not a game you can win, like for me, that was the most freeing point where I'm like, this is like a Ponzi scheme, you know, like they tell you pay your dues. And then when you get to the top, you can make, there's no winning in this game. The best way to win is to cash out, like to play it, stack your coins, and then quietly exit and build your life on your own terms.
Whenever we have conversations about quitting jobs, someone inevitably feels uncomfortable because in their minds, they love their job. To them, walking away feels like giving up on a dream, a legacy, or even a calling.
But what if instead of viewing quitting negatively, we chose to see it as a crowning achievement? What if instead of climbing the corporate ladder, we aspired to jump off on our own terms and stand on our own 2 feet? How would that affect our career planning? And would people still use the word love when they talked about work if they understood work didn't love them back?
I do want to go back to your 2014, 2015, I think you call it a free-tirement instead of a retirement. Can you talk a little bit about what the struggle was and kind of where you were at that time that made you kind of decide to go back to work and what that experience was like?
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of, it caught me by, it was, I think because I was running from something, I was in a job that was just unbearably bad. And so at that time, I was also in a different marriage. So I'm divorced and now remarried. And so there were just so many layers to it. But the main thing was that I didn't plan. I was just running like, I got to get out of this job. And so I drastically reduced my expenses, moved into one of my rentals. So it was kind of, I guess you would call it lean fire. And all my friends were still working. My then husband was still working. Nobody really understood what I was doing.
Yeah.
I didn't have the education. I had just discovered the FIRE movement. So I think now I have the self-awareness of knowing, you have to be moving towards something and not just running from something. And also having my partner who will also be going through the process with me.
Yeah.
We have this house in St. Croix that we bought that we are going to be spending a lot of time fixing that up and building a whole secondary life there.
Nice.
So it's just I'm in a different space. And also it's really hard when you're in your 30s and people are, what was interesting with me is I left my job and then people started contacting me, offering me jobs. And the job I ended up taking was just such a great, I'm like, who would turn this down? I'm working from home. It's like 6 figures, super chill, autonomy. And it was a great move. Like it was a great job for me at that time. So sometimes life just will move you in different directions where I'm like, I didn't want to work in a corporate environment where I had to be in a chair from 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. anymore. But I was totally fine to work from home, still make a really great salary and have a lot of autonomy. Nobody was reporting to me. So that's kind of what lured me back into the workforce. And I'm glad I went back because now we're able to retire much more comfortably this time around.
Yeah. So how do you describe where you are right now? Because at least for us, it's one of those weird things. Like how do you describe where you are? Like, do you consider yourself retired, pre-retired, or you just work? Like, I don't know. I just made that up.
Pre-retired.
Pre-tired.
Pre-tired.
Pre-tired. Yeah, I guess I consider myself financially independent, but still working.
Yeah.
And I work by choice right now, and I plan to change that soon. I literally dream of quitting my job daily, even though I have a great job. I just don't want to work anymore. So now I guess I'll be free tired again.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Cashing Out the Podcast. To see more videos like this, subscribe to our YouTube channel and be sure to turn on your notifications. To get your copy of Cashing Out the book, visit Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, your local bookstore, or download the audiobook on Audible.